Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I can see why you confuse me with Kim because she got her hair cut recently, so we're both going for that short claw.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. Doing home maintenance projects yourself is a great way to save money. If you mow your own lawn, for example, you can save $50 or more on a half-acre lot. That's $200 a month. If you have a stuck valve, a stuck knob on your water valve, $5 of penetrating oil will save you a $100 service call from a plumber. And that will definitely make his Christmas a little less festive. If you would like to hide those obnoxious looking cables that run from your computer to the jacks in the wall, for $14 you can rent a carpet kicker and do that yourself as opposed to a $90 fee for having a professional installation do that for 3 hours. Are you tired of that squeaky floorboard that wakes everyone up in the house at midnight when you're sneaking to the refrigerator for that second Jell-O pudding cup? For $5, you can get graphite powder that'll remedy that situation instead of hiring a carpenter for $50 an hour. And then you can use that money to buy more pudding. It seemed wasteful and even lazy for me to hire somebody to trim the shrubs from in front of my house. So for a paltry $45, I returned from Walmart with Black & Decker's finest 18-inch electric hedge trimmer. These pre-hardened steel blades were almost guaranteed to pay for themselves over and over again in the coming years. I was so giddy with excitement, I practically skipped to the garage, fetched my 100-foot industrial extension cord, which just happened to be orange in color to match Black & Decker's trademark colors. It was practically kismet. I dragged it around to the front of the house, I plugged the extension cord into the outlet, tapped it into the trimmer, and I gently pulled the trigger. The dual action blades whirred to life, and I made a few tentative sweeps across the branches at first. They fell away like a hot knife through warm butter. Perfect. So I started trimming up the sides, going across the tops of the branches, making sure that I had that front all evened up. Pop! Bright flash of light. When my vision finally returned, not only did I discover that the trimmer wasn't making any noise, there was a 2-foot section of my orange extension cord dangling from the butt of the trimmer with a very shredded edge. Trailing on the ground behind me was the other 98 feet of extension cord with an identical shredded edge. Instead of being grateful that I had just cheated death, I began looking around to see how many neighbors had witnessed this debacle. I was positive that they were behind their drapes and their curtains, laughing and scoffing at me. I quickly gathered up my trimmer and my 2 pieces of cord, and I disappeared. I spent the rest of the evening sulking about my own ineptitude. The next day, though, was spent troubleshooting. What could I have done to prevent this from happening? Weed trimming is not that difficult. And then I figured out it was too much extension cord. 100 feet of extension cord is clearly overkill. Fortunately, I had a 50-foot extension cord in my garage. So when I got home from work the next day, ran back to my garage, fetched my 50-foot cord, trotted it out, plugged it into the outlet, tapped it into the trimmer, pulled the trigger. I was back in the shrub trimming business. I started turning those twigs, watching them fall away this way and that way. Clearly, the 100-foot cord had been the problem. That was all there was to it. It was too much, it got in the way, it was all that 100-foot cord's fault. I was busy in my mind thinking, I'm going to have this done in no time. I'll get to sit down and watch the ball game. Pop! Another flash of light. It's easy for me to laugh about this now, but I could have been a do-it-yourself statistic. More than 100,000 people are injured every year doing home maintenance projects themselves. Accidental electrocution claims 1,000 lives. If you're planning to do any home maintenance tasks yourself, please make sure that you have skill and experience on your side. Thank you.
Good job. I certainly do not have schooling experience on my side, so you have made my case